People who love silence are not necessarily unhappy. Many people assume that someone who stays quiet must be lonely, must have no one, or must secretly be unhappy. But the truth is, some people are not running away from the world. They are simply tired of the noise. Some people do not hate other people. They just understand how important peace is to the human heart. And sometimes the quietest people understand life the most. Today, I want to talk about this because modern life is filled with noise all the time. Phone ringing, messages popping up, news flooding in every hour, people talking constantly, everyone trying to prove themselves, trying to compete, trying to be seen, until eventually many people become exhausted without even realizing it. And in the end, a lot of people begin to discover that silence is not as frightening as they once thought. In fact, it may be the only place where the heart can truly rest. As people get older, many of them stop wanting to go out all the time. They stop wanting crowded places. They stop enjoying parties. They stop wanting meaningless conversations, not always because they are depressed, but because their mind finally understands what drains them and what steals their energy. I want you to understand something first. Happiness does not look the same for everyone. Some people feel happy surrounded by cows, but others feel happiest sitting quietly, drinking coffee, watching the rainfall with no one disturbing them. It sounds simple, but it feels deeply peaceful. The world often teaches us that if someone spends too much time alone, something must be wrong with them. But the truth is, many people spend all their time around others and still feel miserable, while some people stay alone and feel completely at peace. I have seen many people become happier the moment they stopped chasing society. They sleep better, they stress rest, they stop competing, they stop forcing fake smiles, they stop worrying about everyone's opinions. Life begins to feel lighter, and it is something many people realize as they go older. Peace is more valuable than excitement. A simple example: some people once had many friends. Their phones never stopped ringing. Someone always invited them somewhere, but over time they realized that every time they returned home, they felt emotionally exhausted. They carried other people's negativity. They listened to endless drama. They forced themselves into social situations. Eventually, they started reducing the number of people in their lives. And strange, strangely enough, life became happier. That does not mean they hate people. It simply means they started choosing what protects their peace. I want to tell you something. If you have started loving silence lately, you do not need to feel guilty about it. You are not strange. You may simply be growing up. You are beginning to understand that your energy is limited and not everyone deserves access to it. Another important thing is this: people who love silence are often deep thinkers. They observe more, they feel things more deeply than most people, which means too much chaos can mentally exhaust them very quickly. For example, spending too much time in crowded malls can feel draining. Being around people for too long can create mental fatigue. Coming home and immediately wanting silence, that is completely normal. There is nothing wrong with you. I want you to start paying attention to yourself. What gives your heart peace? What drains your soul? Some people notice their life improves immediately when they spend less time on social media. Some people feel less stressed when they stop replying to everyone instantly. Some people become emotionally calmer after giving themselves just 30 minutes of silence a day. These are practical things I truly recommend. First, create silent time for yourself every day. It does not need to be long: 15 minutes, 30 minutes, no music, no phone, no endless scrolling. Just sit quietly, walk slowly, drink water peacefully. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but if you continue, your mind will slowly become calmer. Second, reduce the people who constantly drain your energy. I am not saying to cut everyone off, but start noticing who leaves you emotionally exhausted. Some people constantly bring negativity. Some people thrive on drama. Some people manipulate you with guilt, and after spending time with them, you feel tired inside. Life is too short to waste your energy on the every single day. Third, learn how to be alone without feeling guilty. Many people fear silence because they have never truly sat with themselves before. They always need noise, always need distraction, always need conversation, but people who can sit peacefully with themselves develop a certain inner stability, and people like that do not collapse easily when the world becomes chaotic. I want you to understand this. Loving silence, that loving silence does not mean you are unhappy. Sometimes it is actually the highest form of happiness. Many adults spend their whole life searching for, because after life teaches you enough lessons, you stop craving constant excitement and start having peace of mind, and those two things are completely different. Finally, I want to leave you with this thought. The modern world is incredibly loud, but the strongest people may not be the loudest ones. Sometimes they are the people who live quietly, simply, and still manage to protect the peace inside their heart. So, if you have started loving silence more lately, do not be afraid. Maybe you are not becoming lonely at all. Maybe you are finally beginning to understand how valuable peace truly is, and sometimes real happiness is not found in the noise of the world, but in the rare moment when your heart finally becomes quiet. Thank you very much.